Hey guys, all right, let's talk about London org. I know in Aaron Smith Levin's video we talked a lot about London and the Charity Commission, all that sort of thing. So I thought let's just take a minute to look at what's going on in London org. What are the buildings like? What am I talking about? So let me just share my screen. So in London, we have two buildings. This is the main London org. This is the Ideal org, which is based on Queen Victoria Street in London. This is where the majority of people are based. That's where I was based. I don't know if you can see the main entrance there in the middle, but then you have this is the main entrance. You have a little bookstore up there, and then off to the left you have the public information centre and the testing area. And then you go up the stairs and you have everything else like the purification centre. You have the public information like course room. You have the bookstore. You have the auditing rooms. All of that sort of stuff. Downstairs on the left of the reception area, you can see there that's where you go down to the cafe and the chapel, etc. There's also the second building, which is this one. This is the Tottenham Court Road branch, which is what I was telling Aaron about in his video, where we would sell books from, we would do personality tests, we would do stress tests. There's a public information centre with videos and things like that. But there would only ever be one or two staff members here based at any one time, which is now, I believe, fully staffed and they deliver courses. You see, there are several levels to this building, all of which were ready to go as course rooms when I was there, but we never delivered any courses there. I believe they are now doing that. So that is on Tottenham Court Road, just by Goode Street Station. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about a recent court case that, again, I mentioned in Aaron Smith Levin's video that I just find really interesting because, as part of it, they released some information about the current state of London Org. Now, obviously, this is from an older document. So, when they opened their Ideal Org in 2006, they had to submit a planning application, which sets out the church's vision for how busy the building is going to be. And you can see here under the proposals that they advise, in terms of activity, it's envisaged that there will be up to 70 to 90 employees on site, eventually rising to 150. With respect to visitors, the church would expect between 200 and 250 people to arrive for courses every single day. This is hilarious because this is, over almost 15 years ago now, and I don't believe of a single day has occurred where they had that number of public going in the org and that number of staff. When I was there were 30 or 40 staff in each org. So yeah, there might have been 90 people total across day and foundation, but that's two different sets of staff that never operate at the same time. There were never 200 to 250 people every single day there. It would probably be more like 100, but who knows? I left a long time ago. Maybe it's that busy now, but I highly doubt it. Now, this is from the court case recently where they're talking about how busy it currently is. And they are told, the lawyers this is involved in this case, and the judges and so on, are given the information that currently 350 people study in the church in London every single week. Now let's just go back to that first one here where they said they'll have between 200 and 250 people a day, rising to 300 on the evenings and weekends. And now here they're saying 15 years later there are only 300 people a week going into the building. I think that just shows that maybe the building isn't as successful as they intended it to be. Also bearing in mind 300 to 350 people is probably an inflated figure. I would be very surprised if that number didn't include the same person coming to course every single day, counted as several visits of the same person counts as different people, I would imagine. If I came to study at the church 5 days in a week, they would say, see, 5 people come into the building every day. I'm one person. I've just been 5 times. Now, they did a couple of visits into the org to just see how busy it was. Now, the court case is all about whether the worship and the chapel and all of that is a space that's publicly open for public worship. It's not closed just for Scientologists. Anyone can walk in off the street. and go and visit and attend one of their services. Now, they did an impromptu visit and they said on Sunday morning, Queen Victoria Street is not busy and the chances of attracting a casual passerby to join service must be low. That is evidence in a court paper by a judge that says the ideal org is placed in a location with low traffic. Now, considering David Miscavige is meant to be following a policy that ideal orgs are located in high traffic areas, what do you say about that? This is about the test center, the second building that I showed you, and it's just funny because on their different random visits here, they did surveys to see how busy the buildings were, to try and establish whether or not the buildings were open for the public to come and use their building for public worship. And it says here, even allowing for the time of day, the upper floors of the building appeared on our inspection to be largely unused, or at least distinctly underused. The activity witnessed on the ground floor bookshop and the basement testing area. So I think, again, that's just saying both buildings here are not as busy as they would like to admit. Now, I like these documents because this is showing it's not opinion, it's not hearsay, this is fact. This is a court document where the court have done inspections and are clearly stating, based on their review, that these buildings are empty. This was on an impromptu visit that one of the lawyers went to one of their Sunday services that they held at the London Org just to see whether showing up unannounced would have any impact on the number of people they witnessed who are attending these ceremonies. And it's just interesting here. They said they did a head count of how many people were there and how many non-Scientologists were present. And the largest, they said, look, the largest on any occasion, they had a congregation of 40, 10 of them considered themselves non-Scientologists, but normally the congregation was less than 20 people. So on a Sunday, which is meant to be one of the busiest days in terms of people in the org, as per the original document that said it will be 350 people every day on a Saturday or Sunday, there are only 20 people attending the Sunday service. Interesting. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. Enjoy and hopefully see you guys soon.